You were on Saturday Night Live for a year.
Yes,
which
I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I know.
Really? Do you remember your audition?
I do.
Tell me about that.
I was very
I'm
fortunate
fascinated
in
by
that Anthony Michael Hall and I, who have remained close friends lo these many years, we were both put to task by a director friend of ours to remember what and how did we wind up on that show and what was that year like.
Yeah, because most of the lore of Saturday Night Live is people come through sketch comedy or they come through stand-up and they develop characters and impressions and they get the opportunity to audition. Yeah. But I was so curious about how you ended up in that audition.
I came through the Weird Science Country Academy where we had, a bunch of us had met up on this, John Hughes films, and I was kind of like, oh wow, I had a part in that, and I was starting to get a little notice. And then Michael Hall was doing all this kind of bigger stuff and turning down huge stuff and making creative decisions about what he wanted the next chapter of his career to be. And we become friends. So he, in a way, was my first Jon Favreau. He was someone who said to me, I'm gonna go do SNL, I'm gonna get you an audition, and I bet you're gonna get yourself on the show too. And they'll be lucky to have us.
So do you remember the audition?
Yeah, I did some really dumb stuff. I pulled my shirt over my head and did some sort of like bodega running character. I did another guy, a British guy, who all he wanted to do was put a piece of tape on your head. It was really weird, super avant-garde stuff. And
did you have to do impressions as well?
No, I've never done impressions. I have some respect for people who do them. It's a skill, I guess, if you want to develop that skill. You see how we have contempt for things that are out of our reach? I guess I'm not a really good impressionist.
So they all suck.
It's all garbage unless I have a sense of it.
So was it the classic audition and you're on the stage of the show and Lauren's in the audience? And
if I'm not mistaken, there was some people at a table and I came in and it was my moment. And I did some stuff and I heard some chuckles and there was some head scratching and I was like, well, that was kind of fun. And then a couple days later, I was told that I would be a not ready for primetime player.
And were you a fan of it before the Belushi era?
Of course, I grew up on it.
So what did you think when that happened? Did you think like,
now
I'm going to have Belushi's career, I'm going to have Chevy Chase's career?
No, I learned so much in that year about what I wasn't. I was not somebody who was going to come up with a catchphrase. I was not somebody who was going to do impressions. I was somebody who was very ill-suited for rapid fire sketch comedy. I was not of that ilk of the groundlings or any. I'd never been part of any improv group. So I was kind of like, wow, this seems really hard and like a lot of work. But I would still say to this day that there's not a more exciting 90 minutes you can have, whether you are any good or not. It's just amazing.
Was it exciting or terrifying?
For me, being young and kind of whatever, I was like, this is just a blast. Like you're in a caveman outfit and you're running to go from this set to that set and change into a spaceman outfit and you like bump into David Bowie, who's like standing by a monitor because him and Lauren are buddies and you just go like, oh, coolest Saturday night ever. And you go, and you're like, well done, or whatever.
Right.
So in the 90 minutes moment, you get such validation, not because you're the standout guy, not because they're not going to say later on that you were the worst cast member they ever had, which is another lie, but because it's such a difficult thing to try to pull off, and it's so miraculous that for 44 years, whatever it is now, they've kept pulling it off. But you get a lot of cred just for being able to even participate in that level of real-time stress and excitement.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for lots more off camera. And if you want to see the hour-long version of these conversations, I'm going to give you the secret link. Here it is, offcamera.com. Check it out.